3 runner-up finishes and 4 Xfinity starts this year. What do you kind of get out of this test session here in Charlotte?
Yeah, it was good to get out here. You know, this track is pretty tough. It changes a lot. It changed a lot throughout the day, and that's always just nice to kind of see where it goes. And, you know, to be a part of bringing 2 Penske cars here was really big. We're going to run 2 of them, and here when we come back in a few weeks, and you can try things at a test that you would never try on a race weekend. There's huge changes or just kind of oddball things that you just don't have time for throughout the race weekend. So it's always nice to come here and get some laps. Especially, you know, we've needed it this year to try to get better and back to where we were a couple years ago. But I thought the day went fairly well, which is encouraging. And I think we have a few things to work on coming back, so I'm excited for that.
And Ryan Reed also won victory already this year in Xfinity. What are you looking to get out of the test today?
I think Ryan Blaney talked a lot about just how important these test days are. We don't get them very often. I mean, I can count on one hand how many tests I've been to, and this is my 4th year in the Xfinity Series. So there really can be, you know, they can really make a difference in your year and how you perform as an organization. And obviously, we've seen Roush as a whole get a lot better. And so days like today, when we can, you know, we work so hard to kind of continue to come up with ideas of how we can get better. And then a day like today is when you get to really implement those. Like Ryan said, demo race weekend, you know, you've got to unload with what you think, you know, will be pretty good, and then you know, fine tune it from there. Where today, you know, you can go all over the map and completely change your balance and change, you know, things that you would never have time or would even maybe do on a race weekend. And Bubba Wallace is here. Always makes a loud entrance, so everyone knows he's here.
You want to play basketball after this? You got basketball shorts on.
All right, I guess we'll just do 3 at a time. We've also got Bubba Wallace. He drives the number 6 Ford Mustang for Roush Fenway Racing. Since we've already got 2 intros here, Bubba, former summer shootout superstar, can you tell us a little bit about what you're kind of trying to get out of this test session today?
Superstar's a long shot. I appreciate it, though. Getting thrown out of tech a couple times. I'm a superstar of that. Ryan, you know about that too, right? No, not them days. Sorry, what was the question?
What are you looking to get out of the test session today in Charlotte?
We're just trying to build on our program, really. Ryan and I are trying to, Ryan Reed and I are trying to really turn our car around for the Xfinity side. I think we've done a good job so far this year, trying to make the most of it. We come here, we didn't really have a good baseline for here. We look back on last year and some things. We had a good spring race going, and I ran this in the wall, and we didn't have a really good fall race. So it's kind of a new slate for us, trying some new things out. It's good for tests. You can try certain things that you can't really try on a normal race weekend. So we were trying to capitalize on that and find a little bit of speed. But our primer Ford Mustang looked pretty sporty today.
I'll go ahead and take some questions now. We've got 2 mic runners, one on each side. We'll start with Jacob right here on the left.
This is either going to, well, Ryan, yeah, this is either going to be really entertaining or really scary having these 3 up here. I'll start with Ryan because according to the email that I literally just got, you were fastest out of everybody today. Bigger question is, does it really mean anything?
Not really. I'll be honest with you, we were one of the first cars on the track, and that's why it's fastest. So it was really cool at 8 a.m. this morning. There's no rubber on the track, so obviously that's where that speed comes from. But you can't really look too far into who tops the charts in practice day. You never know what they got going on. But like I said, the main thing is just working on changes. That, you know, we work really hard on developing parts and pieces for these cars, and like I said, you don't have time on race weekends to do that. So when we can spend half hour, 45 minutes getting something right, that's usually over half of a Xfinity practice. So that's the main thing. So I really won't look too much into the speed chart.
Bubba Wallace, you're on your phone over there. I was talking to Ryan earlier today, so, and you kind of referenced this, so I'll ask you the same question. You mentioned building the program, and I think, you know, on both sides, Xfinity and Cup, we've seen Roush Fenway really make some big strides the first part of this season. Is there anything in particular that you guys attribute to that, or is it just, you know, finally a lot of little things that you guys are starting to hit on that's making the whole organization better?
It's a mixture of both. You know, I was paying more attention to the cars and what goes into them to make them work, and everybody everybody at Roush County's got a different attitude this year. They're all pumped up to work. They're all pumped up to go to the racetrack. You know, with the changes we made in the off season are definitely showing improvements on the racetrack. So I ran into Harvick yesterday at the Buffalo Wild Wings, and I asked him where he ended up. He said 5th, I believe. I was like, oh yeah, you let Roush out run in. That's pretty big. So we're making some gains. So it was cool to see Ricky finish top 5 there. We tried to make the most out of our day and ended up 6th. So we're continuing to build off each and every weekend, and that's what's important. Not let the bad races get to us, but focus on what we learn, you know, out of those bad weekends if we can, and utilize that for the next race.
And you're going to chuckle at me, but I'm going to be that guy and reference it. 8 races, 6 times you finished 6th. The other 2 times you finished 33rd, and 3 plus 3 is 6. So what is the deal with all this numerology this season? You and the 6 car and the 6 in everything, dude.
I will say I'm not complaining, because looking at last year we were about 26 and 36, so 1-6 is good for us.
All right, let's go to Daniel in the middle.
Daniel McFadden with NBC Sports. Brian, first, where'd you get the awesome Bill Elliott shirt? And second, what?
The hat completes it. It's a nice hat.
I'm supporting Bubba Wallace today. You can go on his website and buy them. They're on sale right now, right? BubbaWallace.com.
Hey, he gets 10%.
And second, with Penske's Xfinity operation, what is it that the number 12 team, going back to last year, has been able to figure out with its cars that the 22 team is still struggling to wrap their heads around?
Well, the Bill shirt, I'm a big collector of old racing hats and shirts and jackets and things like that. I feel like, you know, that part of history is cool, and there's, you know, it's one of the few things you don't make anymore. It's this original t-shirts and things like that. So I try to collect up as much stuff as possible and save it. A few of them are rare, but you know, that stuff's hard to find and it's pretty rare. So whenever we can save it and keep it for a while, I think that's pretty cool. But it's one of my favorites, so I wear it. But you know, I think having the 12 car out there, we all know the more cars from one organization you can put on the racetrack or bring to the racetrack, it's just a benefit. You can try 2 different things, 2 completely different setups, and let's say one's working better than the other team can maybe migrate towards that. It just gives you more options. You know, you talk a lot about it on the Cup side of 4-car teams versus, you know, Penske's 2 cars, and you know, it's just a lot more information flowing around there. But the 12 cars just opened up, you know, that realm of trying different things and trying new things like that. And we're not afraid to try things that maybe they break or things like that, just because it's not in the points championship. So that 12 car is definitely just something to try new things, and we've seen it work, you know, this year and last year. I feel like it's helped the 22 program whenever we can have that 12 car out.
Let's go to Pete on the left.
Question for Bubba. I saw you were at the 4 Wide Nationals on Sunday. What were your thoughts on seeing 40,000 horses?
Still can't hear a damn thing. I thought I'd be cool and try not to wear earplugs. That was a bad idea. That was cool though. I've seen back in 2008 we were racing UAR at Bristol, and that happened to be on the same weekend that NHRA was there. So I got to see him. I got to see him in Thunder Valley, so that was cool. Bouncing off the loud noises, bouncing off the mountain. So I wouldn't say it's almost the same, but somewhat equivalent, because it's really loud. Everywhere you go, no matter, it's really loud. But 4 Wide here was insane. That was cool. Thankful for some track reps here, guys down there right on the starting line. So that was really cool. Got to enjoy it. But I really just wanted to go for one run to show my girlfriend Amanda. She's never been. She lives right down the road, so she always hears it. But it got her pretty good that first run, so that's all I wanted to see is her reaction. So it ended up being a fun day for us.
Over to the right.
Hey Bubba, Jason Brown, Spectrum News. Good to see you. You referenced your season to date so far in Xfinity, but with still a lot of the Cup guys coming away with the checkered flag, you know, through just 8 races, is it sometimes difficult to see the progress that you and some of the other, you know, exclusive Xfinity drivers are making from race to race?
Yeah, we don't really pay much attention to that. We got when we finished sixth, we got a couple Cup regulars and also a couple Xfinity regulars too. So we have to figure out how to knock each and every one of them off one by one. We're not going to jump straight to the top. When it's our day and it's our weekend to go out there and capitalize on it, we'll make sure we do that. But right now, it's just continuing to build speed and improve from last year's runnings. And whether that's finishing sixth and over again, it's good. It's ironic, it's funny, but at the same time, it's really good finishes for us, and we're trying to build off that and hopefully turn those sixths into fifths, and the next thing you know, fourth, and so on. So, it makes it more interesting. It makes it much sweeter when you do have Cup regulars in it, because you can say you beat the Cup guys. So we're trying to get there.
You're gonna stay in the front row.
Stan Creekmore outside the box. I have two questions. Okay, Mr. Blaney, what's the very first shirt, hat, whatever you collected?
Like old?
Yes, the old one.
I don't know, honestly, probably one of my old dad's, one of my dad's old sprint car shirts. That was probably one of them that I have. That's pretty neat. It was one of the 10 Vibrant cars. It's a little small for me, but I have it still. So that one to me is probably really neat. I just came across an old Jasper hat of my dad's at Richmond. That was the second Cup car I ever drove, and it had my dad's, my uncle's, and my grandfather's signature on it. You don't see my grandpa's signature on many things. I offered the guy how much. Like, I was going to write you a blank check with my name on it, and you write in however many zeros you want, and he wouldn't do it. I couldn't believe it. And that one it ticked me off a little bit. It's his. He can't sell it if you don't want to, but I'm going to give you whatever you want for this hat. But yeah, one of my dad's sprint car shirts is probably the first one that I remember. I'll try to keep that one for a long time.
Okay, and Bubba, so who were you pulling for on Sunday? At the four wides? Yes.
I don't really understand all the staging stuff and who's in and who's not. I don't pay enough attention to that. But I did pick Ron Capps' lane to win the funny car. And then who did I pick? I went with Schumacher for the top fuel, and I picked the wrong lane there. So I don't pay much attention to have a favorite one. I was just there for the noise, and it was so cool.
Okay.
I got a quick question. Ryan Reed, you were here also, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
What do you think about it?
I'm
Talk
sorry.
about it a little bit.
I thought it was awesome. It was my first time, so I mean, I'd never been, first time ever. So I'd never been to any. Really, I think like Famosa out in California was the only drag race I've ever been to. So that was a lot different. It was really cool. I went down to the start-finish line, like Bubba said, and man, it was unbelievable. And I did the same thing. I was like, man, someone offered me earplugs. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'll be fine. And I tried to record it with my phone, and I missed it because I was like, all right, I bailed on that and plugged my ears because it was, man, if you've never done it, it's really kind of breathtaking, just how impressive it is. And I thought the four wide, like, it was almost difficult for me to like kind of focus on one lane because there's so much going on and they're just so fast that I couldn't kind of tell which lane won or what exactly happened, but it was really insane, really cool.
So Ryan, what would you do if you could run 300 miles an hour, even for just 4 seconds?
So there was a few drivers there. I saw Bubba there for a little bit, and I was there. I ran into a few different ones, and I asked them all the same question. I'm like, all right, if someone came up to you and handed you the keys right now to a top fuel and said, go make a pass, would you do it? And everyone said no. And I mean, me included, like, if just on Sunday I was there and someone said, hey, you want to go take a run at it? I'd say no. I would need, like, to ease into it, like go take me somewhere with no walls first or something.
No walls.
No walls. Maybe like salt flats or something, man. I don't know. Somewhere if I spin out, like I don't, wreck this incredible race car. But yeah, I think that it's something completely different discipline and something that I have a lot more respect having gone to it now. And it's definitely really cool that I can understand a little bit more what those guys go through.
See.
Bubba, with your strong performances this season, how much feedback have you been getting over the last few weeks from like Mel Yellow and Globe Life about possibility of extending your sponsorship past May at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's good outing for everybody. You know, I'm excited for the opportunity with Globe Life coming up here at Talladega and Charlotte. Gonna go out there and get them at least one 6th place finish out of the 2 races we have. So, but you would think it would help. I haven't really heard much feedback on it. You know, everybody's pumped up about the finish, and you talk about it at that instant, say good run. I was like, all right, let's keep doing more, and it's like, all right, we'll see what we can do. And then it's just kind of stalemate after that. But not going to rush anything, just going to keep plugging along, keep knocking down 6th place finishes, and move on.
Bob?
Bob Parker, ESPN. Ryan, we've seen all the Instagram posts from Amy Earnhardt showing that you guys are back friends again, right? And how nice is it to be kind of back in the friend zone with Junior Nation?
Yeah, they got someone else to worry about now to hate on. Jimmy took the focus off me, which is good. But yeah, honestly, we were good. You know, Dale, Amy, and I were good. You know, we had the deal happen at Phoenix, and you know, I left her flowers at their bus, and then the Martinsville deal happened, and you know, Dale and I talked, you know, a few days after that, and we're pretty good. We actually talked to Texas. We were neighbors at Texas in the bus lot, and we talked for a bit there, and we're good. But that was the first time actually I've been back to his house after. So he gave me a ride home. I flew home with him from Richmond, which was really nice of them, and then went to his house. And I probably didn't see my bed until about 4:30 that morning. So that was an early Monday debrief. But it was good. We had a good time, and it was cool to get back over there with them. They're great people, and that was a lot of fun.
Doug?
Doug Rice, PR, and this is for Ryan, and I'm sorry if you've already been asked this, but in all of the conversation post-junior announcement, there's been 3 names that people keep coming up saying, these 3 guys can fill the void, and your name is always one of them. As an aspiring young driver with a lot of talent and personality. I hear Eric Jones, I hear Chase Elliott, and then I always hear Ryan Blaney in the mix. How does that make you feel?
Well, you know, just to be part of that little group right there is really neat. Those are great race car drivers, great people, and just to be involved and included in that conversation means a lot, for sure. And you know, I've been lucky to be with some great teams in the NASCAR side from the Penske Group and the Wood Brothers organization, and it's been a lot of fun to be competitive this year, to be really competitive, to be honest with you, and see all the hard work pay off. So far, you know, we've had a really rough past couple races. You know, looking like we're going to get good runs out of them, and then things happen. But just trying to get back on track. But it, you know, being mentioned with those guys is really neat. Just all about you know, still improving and keep going forward. That's all we can do.
Hey, right over here.
Woody came with MRN. Ryan, since you won Daytona, and from the other guy's perspective as well, can you describe the difference, if there is much of one, between stage racing at a super speedway versus a short track or an intermediate where you just came off of a short track?
Well, I think, you know, anytime you have to make a green flag pit stop, it changes it. And like Richmond, you know, the way the stages worked, you didn't have to worry about that, you know, on the Xfinity side. So that's way different, you know. It changes your whole mindset, it changes strategy, changes how you approach the whole race. So going into Talladega, knowing that, you know, with the stages the way they play out, the green flag pit stop's a good possibility. That's a big difference. And then also too, it just seemed like you only had one of them, you know, Daytona, and everyone's jockeying for a position where, you know, once you settle in at like a short track or an intermediate track, you don't have to, do you want to go? Do you want to answer the question? You don't have the opportunity quite to jockey for like the position. You're all bunched up like that. So I think that's why we saw so many wrecks around the end of stages at Daytona. I mean, you probably could talk about that. You were in the last one. It's the last stage wreck at Daytona. First stage out, nice. 28 laps, huh? But anyways, yeah, so I mean, I think that just everyone got super aggressive looking for those stage points and didn't pay off. So hopefully, I think they'll clean that up right now. I don't think Talladega will be near as intense, and I hope not, because I want to see the end of that race. I've never finished a race at Talladega, an Xfinity race, so I'm looking forward to hopefully doing that.
Guys, thank you very much for your time. We'll see you here again in a few weeks for the Hisense 4K TV 300.